you select the camellia you would like to do. Usually they say get one about the size of your pinky for the stem. This one's a bit smaller, but we're going to do it anyway. You take a knife that's sharp. Some people use a knife that is their pocket knife. You make sure that you cut all the way around, score it, and then about 1 inch away, you do the same thing. Score it all the way around. Sometimes when my daddy used to do it, I guess it's depending on the time of year, once you did that and started removing the bark, it slid right off, but I've never had that happen. Then, carefully remove the bark, like that, from one end to the other. You do that all the way around. This one's coming off pretty easily. You make sure you keep it stored. And eventually you'll remove all of the green. You take off all of that cambium area, the green area. If you don't, the air layer will not work. So you have to make sure that you remove each thing bit by bit. And you might not need to film all of it. Carefully do that all the way up to where you cut it. And we'll go over it later and make sure that this part, I say it, you want it as smooth as a baby's bottom. And you don't want to see any green streaks, because that's where the plant itself will try to heal itself, and you won't be able to get an air layer. It gets tricky underneath. I just saw a person on the website doing it with a pair of pliers. I've never tried that before, and it might be interesting to see if that will work. Scrape it real good. Look underneath. See, there's still some green left. You've got to make sure all that is cleared off. And you take your knife and scrape, scrape, scrape. No matter how well you do it, sometimes it just doesn't work. So you do it again the next year. We're just doing a small one this time for demonstration.
Sure.
Because it has such a beautiful bloom.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dolly Parla. Okay. Let's check and see underneath if that's clean. Can you see that? I see one more little place. I'm going to scrape a little bit better. Make sure that's clean. So when take into account when you select your limb that you can get in and out, and sometimes you have to trim off other branches hanging down in your way. That's okay. Try not to do it too close to the limb, because you want an area that you can wrap it in. When you get through and cut it off, you want to cut this whole limb off next to the tree trunk, so there won't be a place sticking out that will invite insects or disease. Now we're ready for saran wrap or some kind of cling. You take out enough to hold the sphagnum moss that you're going to wrap around it. Put this aside. Get a handful, a big handful they say, of wet sphagnum moss, and then you squeeze it real good. You don't want too much liquid in there. You sort of make a little trough. Put it inside the saran. And wrap it around the wound from top to bottom, taking care that it's all covered all the way around. You twist each end. Some people don't bother to put something on the ends, and it helps to have another person helping you. I saw a man do this on the website, and he kept everything in his mouth, including a sharp razor, but I don't use a razor. Now, I need a twist 'em. You want to stop? You can save your bag bread tags, or my daddy had a whole lot of this, so I bought a new set of the other day, and just cut off pieces and wrap your saran.
We don't use saran.
You don't use saran?
Uh-uh.
Some people don't use it anymore.
No.
And you just use the tin foil?
Yep. Because we've tried it both ways, and it didn't seem to make any difference.
We can try one without and see if we like that too. They say it's better to have an upright limb, but that's not always possible, so the water can drain out.
Mm-hmm.
Then take a piece of foil, put the shiny side down so it won't invite the birds. You don't want to attract birds. Wrap this all the way around and twist it that way, and then at the other end twist it the other way until you have a nice neat bundle, and you hope the ants won't get in. So twist it kind of tight. So there, you have an air layered dolly parlor.
Yeah, put that